Coming into this Bayern matchup, Panathinaikos faced a critical test. In their previous game, they lost Matthias Lesort to a serious injury, one of EuroLeague's most impactful centers. The timing couldn't have been more challenging. The Greens had just found their rhythm, playing dominant basketball at Owaka, and now they had to adapt without their key big man. Making matters even more complex, they were facing a Bayern team that hadn't lost at home all season and boasted one of EuroLeague's most potent offenses. Let's break down how the Greens responded to this first major test without Lesort. With EuroLeague TV, you can watch every game live or on demand, with features like multi-view to watch up to 4 games simultaneously, exclusive extended highlights, and access to full game replays whenever you want. You can find my affiliate link in the description below, and don't forget to use promo code Baskethead15 for a 15% discount. Ataman opened with a familiar formula, inserting Kalaitzakis into the starting lineup, a move that had in previous matches sparked defensive intensity and energy for the Greens. Alongside him, Yurtseven got the nod at center. The Greens struggled on both ends of the floor during the first quarter. On defense, Bayern's head coach Herbert found his target, repeatedly attacking Yurtseven in pick-and-roll and pick-and-pop situations to build their lead. Panathinaikos' offense wasn't clicking either, until Slukas checked into the game. His entry marked a turning point, as his ability to read Bayern's defense started creating opportunities for the Greens. This was, for example, the first proper offensive execution from Ataman's playbook, a flash-down action. It started with a down screen, flowed into a weave, and culminated in a Spain pick-and-roll. Slukas read the hedge perfectly, rejected the screen, and attacked, drawing the defense before kicking it out to Nunn. Nunn then attacked the closeout, used Yurtseven's Gortat screen, and finished with a smooth jumper. Watch Slukas here, making the perfect read with a pull-up jumper after navigating around the hedge. And in the following possession, he shows his versatility, attacking Bayern's drop coverage and finding Mitoglu when the defense collapses. This is pure pick-and-roll mastery from the Greek guard. Herbert returned to a familiar strategy, deploying the 1-2-2 full-court press that he used in the first round's game. The goal was clear: disrupt Panathinaikos' offensive rhythm by applying pressure and forcing them to operate with a shortened shot clock. With 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the first quarter, Ataman unveiled his newest weapon, Lesort's replacement, Wenyen Gabriel. The Sudanese big man didn't just enter the game, he made an immediate statement. Gabriel transformed the paint into a no-fly zone, making life impossible for Bayern's attackers. Whether he was blocking shots, getting deflections, or simply forcing tough looks with his presence, Gabriel's impact was undeniable. The numbers tell the story. Panathinaikos' defensive rating improved dramatically from 95.8 to 79.2 with him on the floor. His 6 blocks and game-changing presence helped drop Bayern's two-point shooting from 48.6% to 37.5% when he patrolled the paint, resulting in an astronomical plus 55.9 net rating. Gabriel brought exactly what Pau had been missing. The kind of rim protection they hadn't seen since Antetokounmpo's above-the-rim defense last season, who remained sidelined with injury. In fact, he proved to be the type of player the Greens needed even before Lesort's injury struck. Watch Lucas and Brown's reactions to Gabriel's block here. It tells you everything about their new teammates' impact. With Gabriel patrolling the paint, Bayern's interior scoring dried up almost completely. Throughout his minutes, only Carson Edwards managed to convert a drive late in the game, while Booker found some success through post-up situations. Bayern managed to score some two-pointers, but they were forced to settle for shots away from the paint whenever Gabriel was on the floor. Gabriel showed up highly motivated, ready to seize his opportunity with the EuroLeague champions. His defensive recoveries and rotations were impressive, especially considering he had probably only participated in a couple of training sessions with the team. Gabriel finished with 6 points, converting all 3 of his two-point attempts, 1 follow-up dunk and 2 baseline cuts when the Greens attacked Voigtman through middle pick-and-roll actions. However, his 0 for 4 performance from the free throw line raises concerns, as this weakness could limit his late-game minutes. His scoring as a roll man and screen-setting timing are 2 areas that need work, aspects he'll need to focus on as he builds chemistry with his new teammates. The Greens addressed one of their persistent weaknesses: transition defense. They managed to transform their effectiveness in this area, dropping Bayern's transition scoring efficiency from 1.39 to 0.75 points per possession in this game. On the other hand, a season-long weakness remains: the off-ball defense. The Greens continued to struggle in this area, allowing almost 1.4 points per possession, well above Bayern's season average of just under 1 point per possession. As mentioned earlier, Bayern came into this game as one of EuroLeague's elite offenses, averaging 120.5 points per 100 possessions. a number that jumped to 129 in their home games. Panathinaikos' defense delivered a mind-blowing performance, holding them to just 95.8 points per 100 possessions. Panathinaikos' defensive intensity and rotation discipline reached levels reminiscent of last season's championship run. Beyond Gabriel's impact and the usual defensive stalwarts, Slukas showed impressive defensive effort, particularly in on-ball situations. Meanwhile, Osman, despite struggling a bit with Obst's movement, brought constant energy to the defensive end, repeatedly putting his body on the line and making his presence felt in Panathinaikos' defensive schemes. Panathinaikos' defense disrupted every aspect of Bayern's usually potent offense. Their pick-and-roll efficiency was cut in half. Their roll-man production dropped significantly, and they were forced into poor spot-up situations, where they struggled even more than usual. The defensive pressure ultimately led to rushed shots and poor shot selection, with Bayern's three-point percentage plummeting from 37.6% to 26.5%. The Greens ran the court more than usual in this game. According to EuroLeague stats, they managed to score 14 points in transition and 13 points off turnovers, though some of these points likely overlap. Panathinaikos' backcourt trio dominated the offensive end, with Grant, Nunn, and Slukas orchestrating the attack. Between their scoring and playmaking, they were responsible for creating 64 of the team's 80 points, a testament to their control of the game. Kendrick Nunn continues playing like the best player in EuroLeague, putting together a spectacular December run. Over his last 5 matches, he's been absolutely unstoppable, averaging 26.6 points per game. But there's so much more to break down about Nunn's recent performances that we'll need a dedicated video to do it justice. Without Lesort, the Greens kept running their pick-and-roll game just as frequently. While the guards maintained their efficiency creating out of these actions, they couldn't replicate Lesort's scoring as the roll man, especially with Bayern crowding the paint against the roller. The solution? They adapted by emphasizing cutting actions, scoring 10 points off these plays, and their isolation game became even more effective than usual. Jerry and Grant exemplified this with several crucial isolation buckets, once again proving his value to the EuroLeague champions. Another positive development was Mitoglu's performance, logging nearly 30 minutes and showing promising chemistry with Gabriel. He looked like his early last season self, putting up 15 points, grabbing 9 rebounds, dishing 2 assists, and adding a steal while committing just 1 turnover. The Greens not only survived their first test without Lesort, they made a statement. With Gabriel's defensive presence, the guard's dominance, and Mitoglu finding his rhythm, Panathinaikos showed promising signs. But was this just one inspired performance? Or have the champions found a new formula for success? The coming weeks will tell.